Very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. You are most welcome to Westnile TV. This is the Real Talk with me, Ayot Lillian. Every Saturdays from 8 to 10 p.m. we do this right here. And do not forget that we are on our socials, YouTube channel. You can be a part of this discussion by going to our YouTube channel, liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. I hope all of you celebrated your Heroes Day well yesterday. You know, someone asked a question, why is your girlfriend not your hero? So that question is will be answered anyway. Welcome for thank you for joining us today in this discussion. In the studio I have a guest who will have the honors of introducing himself, and today we are discussing why more relationships are casual but there is less commitment. So we want to look at look into this because the trend has been, that is how the trend has been going. Most people engage into a relationship where they are not so much emotionally attached, and a lot of people have been affected. So we are saying, why are people not committed? What is wrong with commitment? Like, why do people feel I just have to get into someone, not get emotionally attached? You know, sometimes it's a one-time thing and all that. So this is a topic that actually everyone can relate with. I hope you will contribute to this and you know, leave out your thoughts that someone may be helped at the end of this. I know so many people are in dilemmas. Many people get into these relationships for so many reasons, but the most outstanding reason is, of course, heartbreaks. Let's have our guest introduce himself so that we can keep deeper into the discussion. You are most welcome to Westnile TV, please.
Well, thank you very much for welcoming me to the TV. Thanks for having me. I wasn't actually expecting to be here, but I'm very grateful that I'm here. Nevertheless, I'm happy to be discussing this together with our viewers. And at such a point, I just want to say I am your boy Ken. The streets know me as your boy Ken, and my real names are Money Justice Kenneth, and that is me. I do a lot of things. I do photography, I do music, I do music production, I do a lot of other things, content creation and so on. So I think that's going to be for the later time. Okay. For now, I just want to get into this. I'm a little bit pumped about this. So
wow,
yes,
it's such an honor to have you here in the studio. So I know he has introduced himself into detail, so if you need his services, make sure to reach out to him. So like I said, today we are discussing why more relationships are casual and there is less commitment. So as you've noticed, we only have one guest here in the studio, so I'll be stepping in to also chip in as one of the guests here with you. Thank you for staying with us. So we'll start with the basic understanding what a casual relationship is. Basically, this is a relationship where you are dating someone, you go on dates, you know, you don't have any future plans of settling with this person. You don't discuss things like how many babies are we going to have, when are we seeing your parents, when are you putting a ring on it, and all that. So those discussions are not there. It's just you go with the person, either you're dating or you have physical interactions, whatever. That is how it goes. So Ken, we'll have your version of what a casual relationship is.
It's more or less the same, I would say, because most times you find casual relationships entail a lot. You find people just want to be as they are, especially they want to be friends. At the same time, you find some people have they have what do I call it? They have some other benefits attached to it. For example, some people just want to be in that relationship where they want to have you know, sex attached to it. They call it still casual. Mm-hmm. You know, there are so many crazy people out there. They'll be like, okay, this is a casual relationship. I just want us to, you know, go straight into anything that we can do, and that is it. There's no physical, basically there's no emotional attachment, there's no psychological attachment. So everything is like raw. Everything just has to stay the way it is. That's according to them. And what I believe a casual relationship is, it's supposed to entail, this is like in the Christian perspective, it's supposed to entail a lot of physical help, casual help, as a lot of other things without, you know, going through with other things like sexual pleasures and so on. That's just my perspective on casual relationships.
Okay, thank you very much. As we are looking at this, we are comparing these two types of relationship. We also want to understand what a committed relationship is.
Well, with committed relationships, you find there is a lot to do with emotional attachment. Early on, I talked about people misunderstanding casual and then committed relationships. Okay, well, committed relationships does have things to do with future plans. You have future plans of how many babies you're going to have. Like earlier on you said, how many babies you're going to have, which kind of crib you're going to have, which kind of car you want to drive, both of you, and later where do you want to settle. You know, the kind of houses you want to build. That is physical. And then emotionally, you find some people would rather be happy to you know, think of things like, okay, maybe in a committed relationship I want this kind of partner who is in this religious sect, so that I can share my godly values with, and so on. So it goes a long way with sexual along that kind of area. So I believe with committed relationships, people look deeper and deeper into things to do with relationships. You find they just don't want to, you know, have that time to spend, but they want to have that eternity with that person. I mean, somebody might say, okay, eternity, my friend, you're talking about eternity. Eternity is something to do with the metaphysical, but right now we're just saying eternity is like in church, you want to go and exchange vows. You want to, you know, tell the person that, okay, you're the one I'm going to, for richer, that's what somebody said, for richer and for poorer and so on. That kind of relationship, that's what I believe committed relationships are.
Wow, beautifully said. So in a casual relationship, you do not have plans. Like, there are definitely no plans of when you want to settle, how many kids you want to have, when are we seeing the parents. And then we see in a committed relationship, that's why you get to talk about things like where are we going to settle, you know, how many kids do we want to have, should we start saving together to plan for our family, when are we doing this. It's about us. You know, in casual relationship, you just meet up, maybe you go on a date, and that's where it ends. No expectations, no nothings, no, you behave like strangers, basically. That's it. And unfortunately or fortunately, that is what most people are into today. I do not know why people are running away from committed relationships, but we are going to look at the reasons why people choose casual relationships over committed relationships. But before we go into that, we want to actually look at we're going to look at them one by one, the casual and committed relationship. So let's start with the casual relationship. What are the benefits of casual relationship?
Well, there are very many benefits of casual relationships.
Wow.
Well, we're going to discuss some of the cores. For example, let me take, for example, the kind of casual relationships I've been having, because currently I'm in a committed relationship. So let's have...
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. With the casual relationships I've been having, many times, many people attribute casual relationships to a lot of freedoms. The main point there is just freedom. You feel free to do many other things. Like with casual relationships, people believe that, they don't just believe, of course they know that in a casual relationship you are not going to be, let me say, governed by a set of rules. Because when you show up, what you get is what you take when you show up. Because trust me, there is first of all no planning. You have not planned for anything, so whatever you have shown up for, it's what you take. Now, what I mean is, one, there is freedom of doing stuff. You have this, because in relationship you find that there are stringencies. There are stringencies. People set a set of, you know, kind of rules like okay, well, at such a point in the room, this is where you should not enter, because I feel like in this area, we have had a bunch of friends. I've had a bunch of friends who are girls, who, like, when you enter in their room, they really don't have that worry of, like, when you get into the room, you feel like, okay, please have a bed, especially when they don't have a chair, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Have a bed, it's comfortable. But imagine if it was a serious relationship where she's in a relationship or something like that, it gets harder for you to feel free to do anything you want. Then another thing is, it's easier for you to actually sometimes think of how to bear yourself out in such situations. For example, bearing yourself in many ways. One, sometimes you find that there are some hard things you don't want, like you really want to discuss with some people, but because you have this casual relationship, you feel like, okay, this is easy for me to talk to this person. It also has its downside, but you feel like you can easily open up to this person because they are always actually sharing a lot with you. At any time they can just talk to you and then bear themselves out to you, and then at the same time you can ask for anything from them. Actually, most of the times they don't have biasness. These casual friends you have, they don't have any biasness. When it's time, when you want to ask for a debt, or when you are in debt or something, they can easily bail you out, and you're not fearing to ask for their help most of the times when you get to them like that. So those are some of the few things which I feel I can discuss about. Maybe you can add on some of those. I still have a lot of them burning in my head, but let me get my head straight, then I'll get to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is quite interesting. I agree with you when you talk about freedom. When you are in a casual relationship, you know, you have that freedom because you're doing some things knowing that I'm not going to be accountable to anyone, so I'm doing this because it's my life, it's my choice. So you know, the consequences on me, not on everyone, so I do not have to think about us. So whenever I'm doing something, it's about me, it's not about us. And you know, as girls, you're free to go out on those dates that are always coming. You know, when you're in a committed relationships, you have to turn down all the dates. So in a casual relationship, you get the chance to just do anything and all that. It also gives you freedom, you know, freedom in the mind, that but above all, it saves you from heartbreaks, because nobody gets to break your heart. You do not expect anything from anyone, because you first of all entered this relationship knowing that I don't expect anything from him, and he doesn't expect anything from me. So whatever we do ends here, and that at that point, that is where it ends. So that is why the advantages, some of the advantages of casual relationships come in. But I'll still take it back to you, Ken, to take us more into the benefits or advantages of casual dating.
Well, casual dating, first of all, I just want to bring it down to me. Back in campus, I've had a couple of ladies, at least two, that I had a certain encounter with, and most of the times one, of course, had issues. She wanted a committed relationship, but one, I had a quite exciting moment with her, because most of the times when she really wanted to talk, it was easy for us to talk. Like, we went on a date once at a point in time where you know, it was this stressful period after like exams. You really want to unwind and so on. And I can say that it was this time when, that was the time when I took my first, I think my first alcohol or something. I took my first alcohol during that time, and it was kind of like weird for me, because we had this thing where we bet. We bet with each other. We were like, okay, so we have been like having this friendship for how long? She was like, for the past 2 semesters. So I told her, okay, if you want to have some time to unwind, let's go out. Maybe there is a certain club called Club 1 in Mukono. I studied in UCU. So we did IT with her, of course. So we went to Club 1. At this point in time, I never really knew that I was this kind of person who was protective.
Okay.
So I went to at that point even I actually felt like I was feeling attached to her, but then this was still a casual relationship. So we went, and there are this bunch of guys who are trying to, like, you know, talk to her and so on like that. So I came. This was the wickedest thing I told her. I told these guys, excuse me, this is my sister, what do you want from her? Okay, that it was kind of like weird, and she was happy that I actually said that she's my sister. So the funny thing is, my physique was not like this. I was actually kind of marked. I was kind of marked. I used to go to the gym and stuff. So I looked big. These guys kind of went. It is kind of like a norm. Like guys from the central kind of feared guys from the north.
True.
So it was kind of that kind of thing. So we went through. I was kind of extremely surprised that she was comfortable with the fact that I would call her any label. So that's why I'm saying, like, one of the advantages is the fact that I'm still explaining freedom. It comes in different ways. Freedom comes in different ways. Like, she was free with me to actually the point that I could call her any name. It was okay. We would get goofy at a point that any name which is supposed to be very annoying, it doesn't get annoying anymore. So, like, we went to the point that even I discussed things to do with tuition, things to do with family matters. She discussed the same things with me. So everything was kind of easy. It reached a point where when I had my first heartbreak, she actually helped me out. And that night when I got high to the point that I took, what was this? For the sake of censoring,
okay.
I want to say I took some hot, like strong gins, strong whiskeys. So I was not able to lift a finger. Funny thing, she was this strong person. She carried me onto the border to take me to my hostel, and she had my keys. So I was extremely surprised that she did that. So you have that freedom and open heart to always, lend a hand whenever there is need to lend a hand for a casual friend. I'm not saying that you cannot lend a hand for a committed relationship, but that one is to a different kind of point. So I'm just saying there is that freedom always to lend a hand.
Wow, that's very interesting. Like, true, it gives you a chance to be with someone and talk about your issues freely without feeling judged and all that. Now I have a feeling these bestie people, that is where they actually fall. The besties always got your back. You share anything with them, they're always there with you. They take you on dates and all that, and sometimes you end up doing things with your besties. So
well maybe that's a topic for another day. But then besties, I've been a bestie before, and I left that zone because of a reason. A reason being, like, there is so much allusions which are geared towards besties.
Besties, true.
They assume, not assume. Some besties are actually wrong. You find some besties mess up some relationships. You find someone is trying to, like, really get into a committed relationship, but like, there is so many besties, and these besties come in different other colors. The colors come in a relationship mood. So
anyway, leaving aside the discussion on besties, we're still talking about the pros of engaging in a casual relationship. Like, it gives you time to focus on other things, because when you're in a committed relationship, you are in love with someone, so your mind is always ringing. Why is he not calling me? I have to call my bae, I have to do this. So when you're with your partner in a casual relationship, you have time to think about other things, because you don't have time to think about the person. You only think about the person when you want them. You actually get that freedom. That freedom can't be explained. But much as we have looked at the positive side of it, there are also disadvantages attached to casual relationship, because you just intersect. Sometimes it's not with one person, you just engage into casual relationship with so many people, and then you guys get intimate and all that. You find yourself having sex and all those things engaged. So it becomes very dangerous when it reaches that level. I'll start by saying, damn, you Okay, let me just reserve that. But it gets you into a lot of things when you're into a casual relationship. Like, you don't care, you don't have feelings whether you're hurting someone or not. And then it comes a bit a problem when you start developing feelings for the other person, when in actual sense you are not supposed to attach feelings in this. So it becomes a problem, you know. It no longer becomes casual for the person starts feeling the need to be committed to you, to love you, to show you more and all that. But that is that, like I said, you can still put out your views on our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll read your comments right here. I have Ronnie, who texted in the group that they're not into committed relationships because committed relationships suck. And Emma says it's for recreation and, you know, for fun. People have sex in committed relationships for fun and all that. I don't know how true that is, but we are still discussing this. Keep on putting your comments, we'll read them here. So coming back to Ken, what are some of the disadvantages attached to casual dating?
There are too many red flags which are associated with
I love it when you call it red flags.
Of course, there are too many red flags. Let me bring it closer to our people here in Arua. Like, there are so many besties here in Arua, so many casual friends here in Arua, and you find that most of the times in these casual friendships that you have, there is so much, like, you know how Arua is. There is so much, you don't have privacy, literally.
True.
You don't have privacy. So it makes it worse when you're even in a casual relationship. You find this in these casual relationships, there is literally a lot of micro discussions about each and everybody who is in that bestie relationship. So even if you are extremely committed to being a bestie, or committed to being in that casual relationship, people will always create pointers. Oh, so and so is this day spending so much time with so and so. So they have probably become an item. So entirely it becomes a problem because this is now for ladies. If you have probably, should I say, a stalker or a potential partner who is looking at you, because of such discussions that people have been having about you, you find that you're losing out on such people.
True.
Because the main thing is you are just being a friend, but because of the discussions which are going on among the different friends which you think are just friends, now this person will have issues like trying to approach you or trying to even get into a serious relationship. So one thing I know is that it hinders commitment. It hinders a lot of commitment. That's one. And another thing is, I believe with casual relationships, as you said earlier on, there are higher risks of actually spreading these sexual related, infections. People invest so much time in casual relationships that even if you're in a casual relationship, trust me, at one point you'll want to have feelings. You'll start to have those feelings, the attachments and so on. That's why I said I went out of the bestie cocoon, because I was starting to develop a very unhealthy relationship, a very unhealthy liking to the person. Unhealthy in a way that, yes?
No.
Unhealthy in a way that, I was looking at this person sexually every time I'm high.
Wow.
Of course, I quit alcohol. But I was looking at this person in a sexual way when I was high. So this is not only with me. So many people do that, and they get such kind of attachments. So imagine if I yielded into such kind of things. We don't know, probably, most of the times in casual relationship, we don't know our statuses. Okay? We don't know our statuses. We don't know our religious affiliations in case, because most of the times in certain religions, if you have sex before marriage, there is a way they levy certain punishment on you. It's different. So you find yourself having these kind of relationships which include sex and so on. you're found out, guess what happens? You're punished in that
you're
way.
Punished, yeah.
Yes, in
so
that way.
we'll still come back with a discussion on the disadvantages associated to casual dating. If you have just tuned in, we are looking at why most relationships are casual and less committed today. Like I say, you can be a part of this discussion by going on our YouTube, like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and also on our Facebook, and we shall have your comments read right here. Thank you for staying with us. We're going in for a short break, but we'll still come back to continue with the discussion.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Mercula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
Tekina kitambana, nami ndo kitambana. Tekina kitambana, nami ndo kitambana. Tekina kitambana, nami ndo kitambana.
Mudonaba kunyumirwa wanote wanyuma. Tuwaze na kula pia katimbuwe. Tonebe kunyumirwa dekazine. Aluwa kiruze kuwa zinira mu. Lekanzine, toja zina. Lekanzine, toja zina. Lekanzine, toja zina. Wangano zina ndawa tonywa pia. Atongoku, amatuki, atongoku, amatuki, atongoku, ikatuku, mini pia yoba. Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Welcome back from that short break. This is Westnile TV, lighting up the region, and we are on the Real Talk with me, Ayot Lillian, every Saturdays from 8 to 10 p.m. and our repeats run on Thursdays from 9 to 10 p.m. So if you missed the Saturday episode, you can always catch us on Thursdays. Thank you for joining this discussion. My name is Ayot Lillian, and in the studio we have Kenneth, who is joining us on this discussion, and of course also you can be a part of this discussion by leaving your comments on our YouTube channel. Go to our channel, like, subscribe, and leave your comments. So we are still discussing why people are getting into casual relationships and less committed relationships today. We've looked at the two relationships, but we have still been we are on the discussion of the disadvantages of having casual relationships. Like we already stated, stated earlier on, you start getting emotionally attached where you are not supposed to be attached to someone, because you basically just passing time, having fun and all that. And you also feel emotionally empty, because the time you really need someone to love you, someone to baby you, someone to pamper you, the person is not there, or because you do not have the emotions actually for the person, so you miss some of those things. Going back to Ken, we're still throwing more light on the disadvantages of engaging in a casual relationship. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I just want to get back to what we were discussing earlier. I feel like in these casual relationships, first of all, I want us to note that casual relationships actually are supposed to lead somewhere. Most times people just want to have this casual relationship, but they don't realize the disadvantage of it. So like they get stuck with it to the point that actually they realize later that it's destroying them. But I just want to say that in these casual relationships, now people are kind of like misunderstanding themselves in casual. Like sometimes people call friends. I call casual relationships as friends with benefits. Okay, yeah, because at the end of the day you feel like, okay, you are a friend to someone. Are you also in a casual relationship? That's just a friend. But casual relationships are what we are talking about. Like we are talking of a situation where you get to go on dates and so on. So one disadvantage with casual relationships is that sometimes you really get into like several other issues. Like for example, there are some people who get themselves in form of a hookup. Like they get themselves in form of a stick-up. Like, let me say, they have this lady they have been going out with for a while. I'm talking in sense of the men now.
Okay.
They have this lady they have been going out with, they have been having a good time with. Like entirely, you don't see anything like to have a serious relationship with this person. And now this person develops certain feelings, certain feelings of attachment, feelings of wanting to actually take it to a different other level. So for you, who does not see this person as a partner, you just want to have a good time, you want to have this person you can always call, someone you can always, move out with, have some drinks, even additionally have sex.
Yeah.
Casual sex, but there's nothing as casual sex. I've been in church, but there's nothing as casual sex. People call that just to escape the reality. But the reality is sex is sex. So people turn the will of God to their own hands. So in other words, I would say it is actually going against God's will for sex. Entirely, the Bible says that sex is meant for man and woman who are married, right? In a married kind of relationship. So you're like cutting the whole thing from being a casual, from just staying as a casual relationship, which the ideal is supposed to be you're casually staying, you're casually doing things, you're casually actually relating, sharing problems here and there, but not getting to invest into things like sex and so on. So like, in other words, one of the dangers is you're going against the will of God.
The will of God.
Yeah. So that way, I feel like one, if you believe in the Word of God, you will feel like you realize that your soul is going to be damned. Trust me, fornication and so on. That is fornication, by the way. That is fornication. Many people have invested in that, and it normally happens mostly and a lot in casual relationships. So you find your spiritual level drops. That's one. Spiritual level drops how? Because now you're in this casual relationship. One, you have gone to drink most of the times. You're most of the times just in a sexual mood and so on. You feel like you're actually just having fun. You are not going to church. Like tomorrow is church time for church, right? People in casual relationships are going to different clubs right now. They're going to have fun and so on. Tomorrow morning, they are not going to church. And they don't invest so much in like personal prayers, because now if you are investing in things like drinking, smoking, and having fun with this person sexually, how do you expect yourself to even approach God? Hello, I'm sorry that I did this. Like, you are continuously praying so that God forgives you, but you keep on doing
the same thing.
Yes, you're doing the same thing. You just walked past this area and you stepped in water, and you are coming back to pick something. You step into this same water. You feel like, okay, maybe I'll go the other side. I'll wash my legs, change the shoe. I'll come back here. You come and put on the what? Put your same feet in the same
water.
Yes, you pass. Water is actually good. Let me say, you step on shit. You step on feces, and then you step on this again. It's a,
so
I know it's a,
it's
a graphic thing. This is how graphic fornication is. So at that point, I would say casual relationships are not only the ones which cause you to, you know, get into those things of disobeying God and so on, but those are one of the things which are more rampant in casual relationships.
But the point is, you know, you calling someone just to have, okay, it's just like more like calling someone to have sex when you want to have sex. So that is one of the features of a casual relationship. I like how he has brought it up. If you are a religious person, then you know that it's biblically condemned, because in the Bible, sex is supposed to be for procreation, you know, for and between married people, not just people who are a one-night stand and all those things. So you should learn to value sex. That is, in short, from the biblical view. You know, casual relationship can also be a problem when you have problems managing your expectations, especially when you start developing feelings for this person. You automatically start expecting things like maybe he should start calling you more often. You know, you start calling him, or he's ignoring your calls because he's not attached. Now you are attached. You feel he should start behaving like your boyfriend when actually he is not. Let's get it clear, he is not your boyfriend, or she is not your boyfriend. You guys are just engaging into casual things. It could be sex, going on dates, you know, picnic, going on vacation, just for fun, and exploration, like someone rightly says. So those are some of the problems associated with casual relationships. So we've looked at the pros and cons of that, but let's go deeper into why people actually engage in casual relationships today.
Well, just to make it plain, and I feel in one way or another this can summarize a lot of things. I feel like people feel like it is easier, it is kind of very easy for them to get away with things. They feel it's a getaway free card. Let me explain. You find in uncommitted relationship, that's casual relationship, you find when people do stuff, they get to a point where they just want to, if it's a problem, they can easily say, after all, I am not what? In a committed relationship with you. For example, let me first bring one danger, which I failed to bring. One danger of being in a casual relationship is this: when someone eventually gets pregnant, because now this is something which involves a lot of other things which are going on. Like you have sex sometimes without the use of protection. I don't understand. Well, you have sex sometimes without even protection because you want to explore how it feels, of course. So you go on, have that sex, and then you get yourself pregnant, or I get her pregnant. Okay, it is easy for me to run away. One, I'll move far away because she's already guilty. It wasn't any attachment.
True.
We never had any relationship. We never had any plans of having this child. This again adds on to another problem. Issues to do with abortions. You get it, culminates into that. So because someone has no attachment, has no plan with you, has no, you know, future plans of marrying you, it is easier for them to say, oh, so you're pregnant, okay, you are both. The problem now comes, the guys normally think that when they tell the ladies you're both, it's just about, going there, like going for a short call or a long call.
They don't consider a lot of things.
Exactly.
That comes with it.
And another added thing is health problems which are attached with abortion and so on. So like, you want the person to abort and then you don't know actually the risks which are going to come. Probably the person gets to overbleed. Probably after overbleeding. Yes, those kind of drugs. I don't really know what they are because I've never tried that. So, like those drugs, they use them, and then someone overbleeds, and at the same time they might lose the ability to even have children again. You can imagine that kind of situation. So all those things which culminate into that, the person gets it easy to actually try to run away from. Most times they get these people arrested, but at the end of it all, they don't get to end up together. Yeah, you find most times these people who have just been in a casual relationship, now they get to start to force the relationship. Oh, we have been together for a while, but when both of you know that you have never been together, in a relationship,
you've just been doing things here
exactly and there. You have been doing things here and there. So just please reiterate for me, I got so caught up in these dangers that I forgot the question you asked. Please reiterate for me what you just asked.
Oh, we are looking at reasons as to why people engage in casual relationships.
Well, thank you. Yeah, people feel like it's easy to escape from them. For example, you have had enough time, enough fun with this person. You have had a lot of, you go for nyama choma and so on, all those dances and so on. So this person finally reveals to you, I have feelings for you. And then you're like, no, I was in it for the sex and I was in it for the what? The fun. I mean, you have not committed to me in any way or discussed with me in any way how we are going to live together, and I don't see you as a what? A partner. You are not actually my ideal partner. At the end of the day, they will say, my ideal partner looks like this, For example, this is a curvy person. My ideal partner looks like you, but then is brown.
Or quicker.
Or quicker. I want my ideal person to be brown. Or I want my ideal person to be dark-skinned. For you, you are too brown. Or you are potato colored. Those kind of things. So it becomes easy.
Before you continue, that reminds me, someone impregnated a girl, and then he's reported, and when he kept telling his friends, I'm not going to take responsibility because this girl is not my type. So you get to ask such a person, but if she's not your type, what were you doing with her? What were you doing having sex, unprotected sex with her, and all that time? So most people are in that kind of situation. So I don't know what you're doing, but just take charge of your life. Yes, please.
Yeah, so there's a lot of twists and turns with those kind of relationships. You find, just like you explained, this is not my type. Many times people are actually lost, in what kind of relationship they want to have. That's why I think today we're here to discuss that.
True.
So sometimes people are really not sure of what relationship to have. Sometimes if you're not sure of what kind of relationship you want to have with someone, please don't even get into a relationship. Just be that friend who says good morning, good afternoon, maybe do you have something, it's okay, let me help you with some salt, give me a ride here and there. Be that kind of friend. Don't get into anything like, you start having things like dates and so on. Don't get into that. So people don't really understand the kind of relationship they should get into.
True.
So that's one of the main issues why people say, oh, this is not my ideal person. So now if it's not your ideal person, why are you there? Because you don't understand the kind of relationship in which you want to be in. You get it? So, and another thing is, sometimes you find there are some people, there is a term that I've come across many times. We have therapy all the time in Coco Palm, so we discuss a lot going on there. So there is a term which I learned about when I got into a relationship. It's called love language. Okay, you find sometimes in these casual relationships, people, like, why people invest in casual relationships is because, first of all, they have realized that there is that potential person who is going to potentially be their potential partner in future, to have a serious relationship with. So they want to actually start from there. That is one of the reasons why some people get into casual relationships. They feel like it's a potential to culminate into something big. So they feel like the person who they are getting to in a relationship with speaks their love language. For example, my love language may be touch, okay? Touch or closure, or probably gifts, or probably, let's talk about, some people's love language is food, by the way. They love,
exactly, girls, we are there.
Exactly. So you love food. So they have, those are different kind of love languages. So they feel like this person who is potentially going to be the what? The partner.
The partners.
They feel like this person, I should get to know them. I should get to be with them for some time so that I can, they speak their love language. But now this person you're getting to be friends with does not actually feel anything, just wants to have the vibe. You get it? They just want to have fun. Probably this person who you're getting to have a relationship with, let me say, you're a beautiful person. You're a beautiful lady, and you come to me for casual relationship, and you want to have that casual relationship because in future you believe we'll be together. All right, me now I'm just looking at you externals. You look cute. It's actually, in a way, casual relationships are extremely based on lust. There's a lot of lust in casual relationships. Lust, you give me this, I give you this, you do me, I do you, that kind of, exactly, that kind of thing. So the idea of people even wanting to get into serious relationships propels them to go to casual relationships. They say, okay, what are we if we don't start from somewhere, right? Somebody feels like, okay, they cannot actually do it, they cannot make it to this serious relationship if I don't first get to a casual relationship. Now I'm imagining a scenario where somebody just meets you on the street, right? Before, okay, I think that's why people go to issues like, okay, first we need to be a casual friend, into a casual relationship before I get into serious relationship. They feel like it's awkward to first meet someone. Okay, this is me meeting you, all right? I meet you, then I tell you, I think you look nice, I would like to be in a relationship with you. You who has never met me, okay? You will feel uncomfortable. What if I'm a killer? You will start thinking of those things. What if I'm a killer? What if I'm a thief? What if I'm A, B, C, and D? You will get it easier to actually run away. So that's why people want to be casual friends, and then they graduate from there. Yeah, I think those are some of the reasons why.
That is so very interesting what you have given us into details, actually why some people engage in casual relationships, because it gives you an open end. Like, you go out with whoever you want, you get to explore. Someone says to have fun and experience and explore. So you have a choice of actually being with who you want, to meet different people, to experiment like you want to do. You do not have those expectations or feelings attached. And one of the biggest reasons as to why people engage in these casual relationships is because of heartbreaks. The heartbreaks they experience from committed relationships. So those experiences always remain in your mind, that you feel like, in my next relationship, someone's son must cry. In my next relationship, I'm not going to give my heart to someone. My next relationship, like this, like that. So those experiences push you into just being with someone you do not have feelings for, like you totally do not have feelings for this person, but you have the need to be with someone, get to know them, maybe push out on dates sometimes, have sex sometimes, and all those things people look at, and you're free, you're your own person. So you don't have these rules of saying you know, I'm your boyfriend, you're not supposed to do this, you're my girlfriend, this is how you're supposed to behave. So it gives you peace of mind. Like, it's basically about exploring and having fun. No much benefit, but that is it. So it's a choice. And you know, a lot of people do not know the kind of relationships they are in. So it's important that before you get into a relationship with someone, you need to know why they want to engage in this relationship with you, because it becomes absolutely heartbreaking and on two sides when two people with different, you know, different reasons for wanting to be in a relationship actually get together. For a typical example would be like men of these days basically just engage in casual relationships. So someone says, us girls, when we fall in love, like we engage in a relationship, it's because we want to commit to this person. So it becomes a problem when a guy says, I want to be in a relationship with you, but then he does not tell you that it's just for fun. You know, I just want to have fun, I want to explore. So you have this girl who is totally committed to you, who thinks she is in a committed relationship. I want to assume a percentage of people fall there. You are out there assuming you are in a committed relationship when your partner is not. So that's why you get people having two different interests. You start asking your boyfriend, you know, why are you putting a ring on it, and he's totally avoiding the topic. So when are you going to see my parents? Is avoiding. Babe, how many kids should we have in future? You know, girls love to ask such things. So the person is avoiding all these questions and all that. So that's why we say it's important for you to know the kind of relationship your partner wants to get into before you all get there. You can still be a part of this beautiful discussion by going on our YouTube channel. You like, subscribe, leave your comment. We'll have your comments live here, and you can also send WhatsApp messages that will all be read out here. And this is the Real Talk with me, Ayot Lillian, Westnile TV, every Saturdays from 8 to 10. We do this. Our repeats run on Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Do not miss any. And we are discussing why people are engaging in more casual relationships and less committed relationships. For some reason, the rate of casual relationship has gone way higher than committed relationships, and we got into a discussion understanding casual relationship from what it is, the pros and cons and reasons as to why people engage in this relationship. We are going for a short break, but when we come back we shall dive deeper into understanding what committed relationship is, and then we shall compare the two, and by the end of this discussion we'll be able to understand why people are going more into casual relationship. Thank you for staying. See you after this short break.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Markula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
And DJ Zero comes on the floor. Chill. Give me advice.
Tekina kitambana, nami ndo kitambana. Tekina kitambana, nami ndo kitambana. Tekina kitambana, nami ndo kitambana.
Mudonda bakunyumira wano tewanyuma. Tuwaze na kulabia kati mwe. Tonebya kunyumira dekanzine. Aluwa kiruze kuwa zinira mu. Lekanzine, toja zina. Lekanzine, toja zina. Lekanzine, toja zina. Wangano zina ndawa tonywa bia. Amatuki, atongoku. Amatuki, atongoku. Amatuki, atongoku. Ikatuku mini bia yoba.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon Channel for Best Children Entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
And DJ Zero comes on the floor. Chill. Give me advice.
Tekina kitambana, nami ndo kitambana. Tekina kitambana, nami ndo kitambana. Tekina kitambana, nami ndo kitambana.
Mudonda bakunyumira wano tewanyuma. Tuwaze na kulabia kati mwe. Tonebya kunyumira dekanzine. Aluwa kiruze kuwa zinira mu. Lekanzine, toja zina. Lekanzine, toja zina. Lekanzine, toja zina. Wangano zina ndawa tonywa bia. Amatuki, atongoku. Amatuki, atongoku. Amatuki, atongoku. Ikatuku mini bia yoba.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Welcome from that break. My name is Ayot, Lillian. This is Westnile TV, lighting up the region. And this is The Real Talk with me, Ayot, Lillian, every Saturdays from 9 to 10 p.m. Our repeat goes on Thursdays every 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So do not miss. And today our topic for discussion is why people are engaging in casual relationships and less committed relationships. We looked at, if you just joined, we deeply looked into casual relationships, what it is, the pros and cons, and we looked at why people engage in that kind of relationship. You can still leave your views on our YouTube channel. Go like, subscribe, and leave your comment. You can also do WhatsApp messages. We'll read your comments live here. So having understood what a casual relationship is, the pros and cons and reasons as to why people engage in it, we also want to understand committed relationships. We want to deeply understand what committed relationship. In the studio we have Kenneth, who is joining us on this discussion to see that we understand this kind of relationship. By the end of this discussion, we'll expect that you clearly understand the difference between the two relationships and actually know why people are going more into casual than committed relationship. So thank you so much. Ken, we'll start by understanding what a committed relationship is.
Well, we discussed earlier what a committed relationship is, and we talked of committed relationships, which as relationships which are geared towards plans, specific plans to get married, specific plans to have the specific number of children. I know sometimes when people get into a relationship, that's the first thing they think about is children. And then some other people think about, you know, having a specific type of housing. I wanted this flat and I want this and so on. So that kind of relationship is kind of like emotionally attached. There's so much emotional attachment to it, and normally such kind of relationships are God-centered. And if you are in a committed relationship and it's not God-centered, I think you're in something else. Yeah.
Okay. That is so interesting. So unlike a casual relationship where you do not discuss the future plans with your partners, in a committed relationship you actually get a chance to choose someone you want to spend your lifetime with. You know, you have goals, plans of having a long-time relationship with this person, so you have the liberty to discuss what you want your family to look like, your future house. You make plans together. Now that is where we start talking about putting a ring on it and all these things, being emotionally attached, someone you can share with, someone you can pour out your heart with, someone who understands you, and someone who is always there for you. So that is the kind of like I don't want to miss out the point where he says it's God-centered, because now this one is the one God approves. You know, you're doing things in the right way. So before, you know, engage and get married, that's what we're basically saying. But that is it. So that is what we a few things about committed relationships. Unfortunately, it's becoming less. You know, less people are engaging in these committed relationships for some reasons, which we are going to understand. Of course, you can also share with us your reasons as to why people are not so much into committed relationship on our YouTube channel. We'll read your comments here. Let's first understand some of the features of a committed relationship.
Well, there are very many signs to show that someone is committed or someone is ready to invest in a committed into that committed relationship they're about to have. One, interest. Okay, most times they're interested in very many things that you're doing. For example, the slightest of things that happen in that relationship, the person is actually ready to actually pay attention to whatever is going on with you. For example, let's say you have had a sad day the whole day, and you're having this partner that you're having a committed relationship with. This person will come through and will actually literally ask you, what's the problem? How can I help? You know, they're always interested in you. They want to understand what is wrong. And in turn, when the opposite person asks you to discuss something, it's easier for you to discuss with them, and you easily bear out your heart to them. You can easily talk anything and everything with them. Unlike casual relationships where you stop at, okay, where are we hanging out? Are we taking Bombay? Which type of Gilbis? That one is irrelevant. That one is irrelevant in what? In a committed relationship. I mean, you can talk about those things. Those are petty things. It is more petty in committed relationships, because most of the times in committed relationships, people tend to look at serious things which might affect their partner. It also, in return, it makes them feel like they should also invest themselves in such kind of things. And additionally, I want to say that in committed relationships, you find whatever, I don't know whether it has happened to you. Are you in a committed relationship? Okay.
Sorry?
Are you in a committed relationship? I don't know whether it has happened with you, but like me, who has been in a committed relationship, if not been, who is in a committed relationship,
Okay.
if your partner feels sickly or your partner is going through something, you will know. Automatically, you will feel that inside of you. I don't know whether our listeners out there have felt that, but like the truth is, whenever your partner has something going through their mind, it affects you entirely. It makes you weak. It makes you to have that interest which I talked about. So like there is that kind of what could I call telepathy. You have that kind of attachment in that level. Otherwise, many people don't have that. What some people just have is entirely the kind of attention. The kind of, I mean, they pay attention to whatever is happening to their partner. Then another thing is, most of the times when people have people in a committed relationship, they don't entirely start blaming the other person for a certain problem which has happened in a relationship. They always look at a common point where to solve issues. Okay? Because a bestie will say, you messed up this, so you deal with it. And it's okay for your bestie to say that, because they are not emotionally attached.
True.
They don't care whether you're going to cry. They don't care whether you're going to kill yourself over it. Deal with it. But in this in this relationship that you're investing in, that you want to get married in, that you want to put a ring on, as you say, in this relationship, you're always going to feel like, okay, what can we do to sort this out? You're not going to start pointing fingers. Well, if one person puts in energy in this relationship, the other person is also going to reciprocate. That takes me to another point. Both of you will want to fulfill each other's dreams. Okay? You'll want to feel like, you will feel like, okay, let me say this. We have two cups, all right? You have a cup and I have a cup. So if your tea is running low and you're feeling cold, right? We both have allergies, and the only thing which can help us is taking the tea. So you have taken your tea halfway and you need to fill the tea. You want the tea to actually be able to, you need to finish that tea, and you have to make it full again for you to get better. And mine is already half. What do? I'm not yet having allergies, right?
Right.
I pour you my tea. You take it. But remember, we have a flask here, okay? I will not mind about hurrying up and then going to start mixing and stuff. I will first get for you my tea, I pour you, you take. Now, if I feel like, okay, well, I'm starting to get allergies, and you notice that I'm having allergies, you'll go and mix for me tea. So it is like a back-to-back kind of thing. You feel like your partner should be okay, so you pour into your partner's cup, like as your partner is pouring into your cup. Both of you like have to fulfill each other. At the end of the day, you feel like, okay, you realize that people who are in committed relationships, they basically don't have too much problems with one partner going to do something and then the other one also being in another place. In other words, they are more committed, like they are more trustworthy. They have that trust. Okay, many people have trust issues in committed relationships, but for someone who is really committed and wants to have a life, they will always believe that, okay, their partner has gone for work. Like now, you're for work, right?
Right.
You have gone for work. If you have that committed partner, you work late, up to like 10, 11. At my place, at our home, whenever you go back home, if you go around 10 or 9, they lock for you the door. So that's how like there's some relationships are. You get to a point where like there is that point where the partners don't trust each other. It becomes more of like a scare relationship. That's why that's why I think we're going to talk about commitment issues. Okay. So yeah, you will find this person, it's actually easy for them to trust, and it's easy for them to open up and be like, okay, she's there, she's doing work. When she comes back, you kind of like get easy. It gets easy for you to welcome her back home. It's easy to trust.
Okay. So thank you for elaborating deeply on some of the features of a committed relationship. You know, this comes a committed relationship has features like trust, love. You trust each other. There's so much love. You guys are attached. Like you feel this is the person I want to be with. So you share so much emotionally. There's that attachment that is so strong. You have plans, future plans. You know, this is the person I want to be with. So when you decide to get in such a relationship, you do not have things like, oh, I'm not going to be with my partner and all those things. Say some of your comments on our YouTube channel. This comes from Life on the Lane with Ivan, who says, I think casual relationship just needs to be handled with care, because it can be a double-edged sword which can either cut for you either cut for you or the good life, which can either cut for you the good of life or cut you down. So it needs care. So he emphasizes care when it comes to casual relationships. So you need to handle it with care. So those of you who are clumsy, always mixing your emotions here and there, that kind of relationship is not for you. So Ken, let's look at some of the benefits that come with engaging in a committed relationship, because I believe it saves you a lot more. I want to emphasize on the point of emotional attachment. You get emotionally attached to someone and you always feel they're there for you when you need to talk to someone. There's always someone you pour out your heart to, because your partner comes like your companion. So they're always there for you. There are things you can be having that you can't tell someone, but you feel it much more at ease talking to your partner. You know, there's a lot that comes with being with someone you love. You enjoy so much, you know, the being pampered, the everything, babying you, honeying you. Now this is where some of those things come. Ken, what do you have to say?
Well, there are very many advantages to having a committed relationship. First of all, I just want to say that one main advantage of being in a committed relationship is the fact that you're able to unload a lot. You're able to create for yourself that peace with just sharing. Because when you have this person who is literally your other better half, some people call it better half, the other better half, when you have that better half, it's easier for you to actually unload yourself. Imagine you're alone, you're in your house all the time thinking about rent issues, and you're hustling for this rent alone. You're feeding so many other people. Probably you have many other relationships. So thinking about all these things without coming up with a solution is not going to help. But having a partner like that, it gets easier, because now as a man, I believe that a woman is like one of the best companions I should have. That is what God gave us. So having a woman actually gives you let me reiterate. Having the right woman, okay? I love the emphasis. Having the right woman in this committed relationship helps you a lot, because you find the right woman normally offers you a lot of other advantages. Now, this is inside of this committed relationship. So having the right woman can offer you things like certain types of advice which you would not be able to give to yourself. Okay? I've been in situations where I am entirely stuck in a situation where I just want to talk to someone. I want some certain pieces of advice, but I cannot get in anywhere. But like getting into a relationship of the kind that I'm having right now, it gets easier for me to actually have the solutions to the problems I've had. Like when I was setting up my photo studio, okay, I didn't actually know exactly how to start the whole thing, because one, I had some ideas, but like sometimes you need a specific touch of a woman, you know, to actually get some things done. Many people think like, oh, women are just women, they don't have actually anything to offer. But like being a modern man and a trained son, I know that in one way or another, women have provided a lot more in the building up of a man than a man does to themselves. Because gather around 10 men in one house, okay? Gather 10 men in one house to manage themselves for 1 week, and gather 10 women in one house to manage themselves in 1 week. You will find the kind of disorganization in the men's house is different, like more than the one for women. Now, what does this show? I'm not trashing the men, but what does this show? We both need each other. Even women, they will start having issues, but most of them are like emotional. Women have a lot of emotional feelings, to the point that sometimes, let me make this clear. Sometimes the tiniest of things matter a lot to them. That is where we fail. If I've hit my foot right now as a man and I'm bleeding, I'm just going to pick any paper, I'll wrap it, I'm okay, I'm going back for football, I'm entering to play football. But the woman will be like, oh, this bleeding is what? Much. Let me first dress it.
Dress it.
Exactly. Dress it. After dressing, you can now proceed and play your football, which would have avoided for you further infections, right? So this is how women reason. For us men, we are built to act. We are built to have the action and so on. But most of the times you find women are just there to make you act better. So in this relationship, I would say you unload much more when you have this kind of committed relationships. So if you're in a casual relationship, who are you going to now like unload a lot of things to? Because sometimes you find this person who you are trying to unload to does not care.
We have let me read this comment quickly. We have a comment from Akelo Mary. I see you. Thank you for catching us. She says, sometimes we want to be committed, yet the people we are committed to still want games and explorations. I love the sad emojis.
Well, I believe she has been through an ordeal, and that's why I said you have to have the right partner. I was talking about having the right partner. So if you get yourself in a certain stick up like that, I would say, you know, there are always signs which indicate different, you know, different levels of commitment, different levels of attachment and so on. Like those signs are the ones which tell you, is this an abusive relationship, or is this a relationship worth investing in? Now those things are the ones you're supposed to think about. You think about, you look at those things. You first have to pay attention to look at those things. If he could just put that up, the comment, it would be beautiful. I wanted to read something there again, so we can talk about
Mary's comment.
Well,
as the comment comes, I think we could continue.
Yes. So
let me read the comment. She says, sometimes we want to be committed, yet the people we are committed to still want games and exploration.
Well, this is the thing. You remember earlier on we were talking about casual relationships.
True.
And in these casual relationships, we said one of the signs is sometimes you are really ready to commit, and then this person comes and says, me, I'm not ready to commit. I am just in it for the fun. And sometimes you have to pay attention to like the signs that they give you. What are these signs? Signs are, first of all, they don't care about anything. They don't probably care about whether you are crying over something. Or not.
Like they don't care about your feelings or all that.
Yes, let's look at it in both senses, because now normally it's assumed that women cry more than the men.
True, we do.
I cry too. I cry too as a man. So the truth is, let me look at it in the both ways. So you find that the woman or the man, when it comes to issues to do with pain, okay, you find that men, there is a way men actually hide their pain. For men, if they want to show you that they're in pain, sometimes some of the men get angry, okay? They show their pain in anger. They don't actually answer you directly. They will get pissed with you. easily. And then sometimes you find some of these men find their pain by they show their pain by drinking. Others overdrink to try to drown the sorrows. So the women, you find they cry, they try to look for, you know, someone to talk to and so on. So like this person who is the casual friend, who they want to actually what? To get into, to get actually well and to get into a serious relationship with,
so
will not care.
First going to that comment, we have Emma Mook, that is Emmanuel, catching us all the way from Mook. Thank you so much. He says, for recreational purposes such as sex and having fun, people don't find fun in commitments. Wow, that is so bold, but yet it's the truth. Yes, please. Yeah, well, I think we all agree that most people don't find fun in committed relationships.
I don't know why I'm having fun in my committed relationship, and I think I should be an alien or something. But the truth is, the truth is, sometimes we are kind of like subjects to our, and we're entitled to our comments. The truth is, whatever relationship you get into, you sometimes have to understand that the motive in which you get into a relationship will give you the kind of happiness, the kind of pleasure, the kind of, you know, ease and comfortability you will get eventually. It's not always about okay, this is a relationship, I'm in it, therefore I must be happy. You have to work for it. Okay, you have to sometimes be very active in this relationship, in this casual relationship that you're going to have. If you don't invest in anything, just like in business, if you don't invest, you will not reap the benefits or profits at the end of the day. It will just be continuous, you know, what do I call it? It will just be continuous, you know, losses and losses and losses. That's what he's talking about. There is no fun in committed relationships. People have sucked the fun out of committed relationships because, one, they want to feel in control. Sometimes the sense of entitlement is also a very bad thing. You feel entitled to have sex whenever you want to have sex in a committed relationship. That's where the problem is. They feel like it's no longer fun. Now, this is one thing I should let us know. The motive in which you get into this relationship with will be the one to kill or make it lively for you in this committed relationship.
Sure.
You get. So when you have a motive of always turning up the music and dancing and having fun, a lot of other things, and then at the same time, at the end of everything, you want to have sex, like crazy sex. It's a problem with you because your partner wants to look at more serious stuff, because like during this committed relationship
we have a comment coming in from Awezi. Awezi, thank you for catching the show. She says, I'm on a committed relationships because why not, you know. There are a lot of people out there enjoying their committed relationship, and just like you are explaining, we want to understand why we should engage in a committed relationship. So
those are some of the benefits. I always just said she's in a committed relationship. I mean the English, it's a bit Arua-ish. So because why not? I mean, if you are in a committed relationship, like people like that, they will always profess the benefits which come with it. Sometimes the benefits may not just come as you have gotten into the relationship immediately. You find you have to, like, you know, really commit to first learning this person's love language. I mentioned love language earlier on. If my love language is going to be, you know, I want to always, you know, have one-on-one or heart-to-heart talk with you. I want to always understand you on a face-to-face basis. And then for you, the way you understand me is by probably us going out and having some serious dance, you get it? Then we get back and have some fun. Some people just want space, okay? Some people want to have space. Like if they have issues to solve, they want to have a like their me time to have to think about it, because some people are not comfortable like talking about things immediately like that. So if that's their love language, try to respect that. For you, if you're very fast in answering like me, I'm this type who likes to just, you know, if you have a problem, let's solve it now.
No. Okay.
But I've learned to understand that if my partner has you know, they want that space, you keep quiet, give them the time, let them talk. So if you learn those things, you'll start enjoying the work.
Okay, thank you so much. We are still discussing reasons as to why you should engage in a committed relationship, and this is Kenneth here in the studio. Thanks to all who have sent in their messages on WhatsApp, on our YouTube channel. Akelo Zainab, thank you so much for catching the show. Akelo Gloria, Awezi, Badizo, Ronsi, and all those people, I see you. Ayot, our cameraman, thank you so much for the job well done. And our producer Aldo, who is out there, thank you so much. This is the Real Talk. We are still discussing reasons as to why people are in casual relationships and less committed relationships today. Do leave your comment on our YouTube channel. We'll see you shortly after this short break, where we shall discuss some of the disadvantages associated with engaging in a committed relationship, and also look at why engaging in a casual relationship is worth it. Thank you. See you shortly.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
And DJ Zero comes on the floor. Chill. Give me price.
Tekina kitambana, nami ndo kitambana. Tekina kitambana, nami ndo kitambana. Tekina kitambana, nami ndo kitambana.
Mudona bakunyumirwa wano tewanyuma. Tuwaze na kulabia kati mwe. Tonebye kunyumirwa dekanzine. Aluwa kiruze kuba zinira mu. Dekanzine, toja zina. Dekanzine, toja zina. Dekanzine, toja zina. Wangano zina ndawa tonywa bia. Amatuki, atongoku. Amatuki, atongoku. Amatuki, atongoku. Ikatuku mini bia yoba.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
DJ Zero comes on the floor. Seal. Fair. Every voice.
Tekina kitambana. Nami ndo kitambana. Tekina kitambana. Nami ndo kitambana. Tekina kitambana. Nami ndo kitambana.
Mudona bakunyumirwa wano tewanyuma. Kaze na kula pia katimbuwe. Tonebye kunyumirwa dekanzine. Aluwa kiruze kuba zinira mu. Lekanzine. Toja zina. Lekanzine. Toja zina. Lekanzine. Toja zina. Wangano zina ndawa tonywa pia. Amatuki. Atongoku. Amatuki. Atongoku. Amatuki. Atongoku. Ikatuku mini pia yoba.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
You are most welcome from that short break. My name is Ayot Lillian and this is The Real Talk. Of course, it's the #1 TV station in the region, and that is Westnile TV, lighting up the region. Thank you for catching us on this show every Saturdays from 8 to 10 p.m. and our repeats run on Thursdays from 9 to 10 a.m. Do not miss. Today our topic for discussion is why are people engaging in more casual relationship and less committed relationships, and we have looked at that into details where we've gone deep into understanding what committed relationship is and what a casual relationship is. Here in the studio is Ken. He'll have the orders to introduce himself again for those who have just joined. You can also go to our YouTube channel, leave your comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and then leave your comment. We'll read your comments out here because your opinion also matters, so do be a part of this discussion. Like I already said, we looked at committed relationships, and now we want to understand. We know the benefits of engaging in a committed relationship where you have you emotionally attached to someone, you share, you have plans, like you have plans to settle with someone, you have a clear direction of where you want your life to go, and basically you acting responsible, if I may say, by engaging in a committed relationship. There's actually less stress in that, because you do not have to look this way or that way for other partners or all those other things. But also some people who are in relationships, committed relationships tend to have those side relationships, and we are also going to understand why that is so. So to kick off this discussion this minute, Ken, kindly let's talk about some of the commitment issues that people have in committed relationships.
Well, many times when people look at committed relationships, relationships which are extremely geared towards eternity, you want to be together and so on, they think it's a bed of roses. But like, there are so many other reasons, there are so many issues which are involved when it comes to committed relationships. You find there are actually some of the signs which can actually tell you exactly that this is a commitment problem. Commitment problem can mean like a relationship problem, or we can talk of it as the fear of committing or phobia of committing. So some of the things which are involved in which can show you that this is a commitment problem, which can show you that someone is failing to commit, actually they are clearly seen. They are easy to notice. Many times, if you in that relationship, many people just don't want to make plans. You avoid making plans.
Someone asked how many babies you want to have.
Exactly. You feel like you're already being hooked to that situation, and you don't want to be hooked to that situation. You find that most of these issues of failing to commit or make plans is because some of the childhood things. You know, sometimes you do some things and then you don't do those things perfectly, and then it becomes very hard for you to actually commit to whatever you want to do. So those are some of the issues. And then some of them is you start avoiding to think about, you know, how romantic things will be in the future. You know, it becomes like a nightmare for you. Every time your partner talks of, you know, how you started, how you're proceeding, you know, you even start thinking negatively. By the way, those things, there's this thing where people normally say it will end in tears. It will end in tears. You will start talking to yourself negatively, and you will literally notice that this person is negative about this relationship entirely after them having those negative thoughts. It will end in tears. Yes. Oh, after all, I'm still having my, you know, my career in front of me. I'm still young. I still have a long way to go. So when someone starts creating excuses like that, you find that that's a red flag. It's a problem. It's a commitment problem. And then another thing is, most times people who have commitment issues, you find that they don't want to, well, they don't want to accept that someone else, how do I make this? My train of thought just right. They don't want to accept that actually help is supposed to be granted. So sometimes they just want to, for example, if you ask me to help you with something, or you want me to talk to you about something, like, I'll get back to you. That kind of behavior. Like, I'll get back to you. It's not just a random thing that I'll get back to you, but it's a consequent thing. Like, people keep giving excuses to say having a discussion becomes a problem, having to give help to someone becomes a problem. So like being next to someone entirely now becomes a problem. They are always, most of the time, scared to even get to the point where they just want to sit and have a good time and then discuss with them. Simple things like going for a date to discuss things just to have fun, they avoid them. It becomes a very huge problem for them. And then sometimes they are really not invested in whatever things are going on among them. If they have a problem, they are not ready to discuss the problem. Now, not ready to discuss meaning that postponing time or giving time or however long it takes, no. But like having this thing where entirely, I don't want to talk about it. You are always like this, so therefore, this is the decision you have made. I don't want to talk about it. I want you to do what you want to do, and I do what I do. It's like I do me, you do you. That kind of situation.
Wow.
Yeah, like attitude. They are not really invested in whatever they want to do, and most times they don't really include you in their plans.
That's a big one.
I'm going for a party, right? You feel responsible that you should tell your partner, I'm going for this party. Can you escort me? This is now someone who is invested in the relationship. But you dress up, you shower, you go. Like you don't really say, hi, honey, have a good night, I need to go here. That is even rude. You first have to ask your partner if she's free.
Is it okay?
Is it okay that I'm going for this party? Can you escort me if it's okay? If she says no, you can go. You will find me here. I feel tired. But they don't ask you. They don't include you in any plan at all. Like it is what it is, like kind of situation.
It is what it is. So these are the kind of people who literally don't care. Like you feel you're in a committed relationship, and then everything they do is just about it's all about, like, if it's the lady, it's all about her. So the us aspect doesn't come in the relationship. That's why you find someone is so selfish. We have a comment incoming from Amanio Charity, who says so much sense in here. Thank you so much, Amanio Charity, and thanks for watching us. We have live on the lane with Ivan, says glad to watch you, Ken, watching you live from UCU sound room, control room. Thank you so much for catching the show right there. So we are still talking about some of the trust issues that are in committed relationships. Like he says, somebody excludes you in whatever they're doing. you know, we normally expect when you're going out, you need to go out with your partner, or maybe you first ask your partner, you're doing something, you first talk to your partner about these things. But then there are those people who do not see the need of talking to their partner about some of these things. You know, you're having a problem and someone wants to discuss these problems with you. Like you say, they feel like, no, I don't want to talk about this because you're problematic, you're this, let's not discuss this, let's not do this, let's not do that. So they avoid some of these problems, knowing very well these are things that are killing the relationship, but they do not want to work on these things. And you see, these people, and this kind of people are usually self-centered. They don't care whether they're hurting you emotionally or in any kind of way. They just don't care. Everything they do is about them. And these are people who are capable of actually hanging out with other people in your presence. Exactly. So like they have these friends or casual people they have their things with, and they do stuff in front of you. I love what you said, very important. Pay attention to these red flags. It's very important, because much as we say a committed relationship is a much better choice, don't also be where you are, you know, you are suffocating. These people don't have plans for you. You expect that naturally this is someone you want to be with, someone you want to end up with, somebody you love, but they do not discuss any kind of plans with you. So that leaves you in a situation where you start doubting whether you are in love, you are in a committed relationship with someone or not. So do not ignore some of these red signs. Those are some of the trust issues we have with committed relationships. And if you still have more, we have our WhatsApp number on the screen, that is 0742 442400. You can leave your WhatsApp comments on that line. And also don't forget, on our YouTube channel we have you can like, subscribe and leave a comment. We'll still read your comments here, because it's important for you to be a part of this discussion, because it's something that actually involves all of us, something that we experience, if not you or a friend, but that we are discussing why so many people are into casual relationship and less committed relationship. Basing on the reasons on the discussion we've just had, I know you now understand why people are in these two kind of relationships. We have a YouTube comment coming in from Ronnie Amatre, who says some partners don't want to face realities, so they get lost in their studio relationships. These are people who bury their head, you know, they don't want to know these things, but whatever he means, that is it. There's partners who I want to read again. Some partners don't want to face reality, so they get lost in their pseudo relationships. So pay attention to real relationship, because there are these people who practically be in a relationship, don't want to know how the relationship is running, but they know they are in the relationship. Let's go for a short break. When we come back, we shall be, you know, discussing why we shall be looking at whether why committed relationships are worth it, or why casual relationships are worth it, because it's a choice. At the end of the day, it's a choice. Some casual relationships also lead to committed relationships. We shall have that discussion after this short break. Stay with us.
Get more for less on StarTimes this Easter season. Cartoon Channel for Best Children Entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with StarTimes. StarTimes is regulated by UCC.
Welcome back from that short break, and we are still on the discussion of why people are more into casual relationships and less in committed relationship. Joining me for this discussion is Kenneth. Thank you so much for those who have stayed with us, those who have engaged with us on YouTube channel, through our WhatsApp messages, leaving your comments. We appreciate, and we intensively looked at casual relationships and committed relationships and reasons as to why people would actually engage in the two kind of relationships. So as we're winding up, let's have Ken put out his last thoughts on this topic of today.
Well, I want to mention two things to always pay attention to when you're in a committed relationship, and these are some of the red flags which actually can let you understand the kind of commitment issue you're having. One, you should understand that when your partner starts questioning whether you're in love with them, when they keep asking the question continuously, are you really in love with me? Like all the time, they keep questioning that. That is a red flag, because that is like a commitment problem. It's like they're trying to find a way of like getting out of it, but they don't know. Yes, they don't know how to get it straight to you that I'm actually tired of the relationship. And then also another thing is, most of the times people get scared of the next step their partner is taking. For example, in their progress financially or in their jobs and so on, they feel insecure that if it's worse with women, if the ladies are getting more higher positions, the men now start feeling like insecure. They feel like the women can no longer be in love with them. But that's not the case. Most times the ladies just want to have this kind of partner who actually respects them and wants that like real commitment to actually be in a relationship with. Okay. So in a nutshell, I want to say that committed relationships, casual relationships, they all come with their positives and negatives. You can never rule out anything, and you can never outlook anything. You always have to pay attention to signs. You always have to pay attention to the fact that there are different red flags, and you also have to know that your partner's love language is most important in having a very serious relationship. Okay. But in the casual one, I should let you know, if you are continuously having sex with that person, you are committing sin. Oh. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ken. It's been a pleasure having you here on the show. And we have a comment coming in from Angoparo Pamela. Thank you so much for catching the show, who says, glad to be watching Ayot, Lillian, and your boy Ken. Just a comment. Committed relationships are pillared by respect for your partner. When you look at a casual relationship, there's too much disrespect. That's a very clear reason for you to engage in a committed relationship. Like we said, some people actually start from casual relationships and then go to committed relationships. So we are not saying casual relationships are bad, but they can also lead to committed relationships. So it depends on how you handle the two, but we would say that get engaged into a committed relationship to be on a safer side. So that is it. Thank you so much for staying with us. I believe this discussion has been very fruitful, so now you can go make a choice for yourself where to be, if you want to engage in a casual or a committed relationship. It's a choice that is entirely up to you. Thank you so much. My name is Ayot Lillian. This is The Real Talk, every Saturdays from 8 to 10 p.m. and our repeats run on Thursday 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. here on Westnile TV. Stay tuned for the next program, that is the late night show with MC Simon, living here to light your weekend, and see you again next weekend. Ciao.